This Beyond Clean Articles on the Go feature is titled Social Media Overdrive: How to Get the Most Out of Your Sterile Processing LinkedIn Presence. Written by Hank Balch, founder and president of Beyond Clean. LinkedIn is a waste of time. One of my coworkers uttered those quaint little words about 2.5 years ago now, and I've heard them again and again in the months and years since. In the proper context, they could very well be true. I mean, for my 87-year-old grandpa, LinkedIn probably is a waste of time. He's more concerned with how much it rained today than how many likes his last article got. But for the rest of us, I'm here to tell you, LinkedIn matters. Now, it matters differently depending on what side of the proverbial industry fence you're on, vendor or customer, but it matters nonetheless. And those who ignore it do so at their peril. Well, peril may be too strong of a word, but let's just say you are trying to do this sterile processing thing with one arm tied behind your back. The magic and mystery of digital omnipresence. So, this article isn't as much about making the case for LinkedIn, I'll have to do that another time, as it is about teaching you how to make the most of it if you're already there. So, let's get down to business. Whether you're a CS vendor, medical equipment, surgical instruments, consultant, etc., or a CS professional, technician, manager, director, the power of LinkedIn resides in its ability to make you and/or your product digitally omnipresent. Simply put, you or your product have an opportunity in front of you. While the number of CS and SPD professionals who are active LinkedIn users, logging in at least one time per week, represent a very small slice of the entire industry customer base, that slice is a veritable goldmine for CS key opinion leaders. The customers who are on this platform are likely to be primary decision makers for their departments, or soon will be. They tend to be early adopters of new technologies and services and are already demonstrably interested in networking with their peers across the industry. And you happen to have the ability, through LinkedIn, to digitally shower us with compelling information about you, your product, and your organization. Because of the relatively small size of the CS corner of LinkedIn, smart and creative vendors and industry professionals have the distinct ability to quickly place themselves ahead of the pack in terms of name and brand recognition, identification as a source of information and solutions, and overall customer perception of market ownership. In layman's terms, this platform is primed for a takeover. It's just waiting for particular product categories or CS leaders to be the product categories or the CS opinion leaders that people see when they log in to LinkedIn. Time and the 3 weapons in the war for presence. So, before you run off thinking you're going to wake up tomorrow and have 10,000 connections and a faithful following who hangs on or passionately disagrees with your every word, let's talk about the obvious. Social media takes time. Great social media presence takes even more of it. If you try to implement any of these recommendations without the requisite time, you and your marketing team will both be disappointed. A good rule of thumb is about 3 hours a week as you get started. As your profile and reach grow, you may spend more or less than that, depending on how you choose to use it. All that said, let's get to the fun part. When talking about how to capture a LinkedIn perspective market share, I like to tell folks that you have 3 different digital weapons to choose from. Depending on the person, you may use them all, only one, or any combination at different times and seasons of your professional life. Number 1. The Creator. This is by far the most time-intensive of your 3 social media weapons. And it is exactly what it sounds like, becoming known for creating the best content available in the CS LinkedIn space. Apart from the sheer time it takes to create quality content on a consistent basis, the type, topic, titles, and even length of content must be strategically considered at every step. Dense technical material is great for white papers and research symposiums, but it's not going to get you very far down this road. What you want is compelling, concise, and creative content that is easy to read, offers an engaging reminder or novel idea, and can be easily shared. My rule is 1,000 words max if you can help it. And yes, I broke that rule just to give you all the secrets on this post. But remember, content doesn't have to be confined to articles. Well-written status updates can be just as powerful as longer pulse articles, and anything created on LinkedIn can be shared across the rest of your social media accounts. Number 2, the engager. If you don't have the time or the desire to churn out high-quality content, the second weapon of social media presence may be more your style, the engager. Again, the name says it all. Folks who excel at this tools are the ones who are constantly and coherently engaging with other users' content with thoughtful commentary or consistently sharing external content within their own networks. Done well, an engager can become a virtual RSS feed for their LinkedIn connections, providing them with industry highlights from around LinkedIn without having to scroll down the news feed for 5 minutes. Great engagers are intentional about curating what they comment on and share. If you share everything and comment incoherently on every one of your connection statuses, you're not an engager, you're a newsfeed hog that people will unfollow. Number 3, the booster. Out of the 3 social media weapons in this post, the booster is the easiest to do and the least effective in terms of increasing your personal social media profile on LinkedIn. That being said, if you're a representative for a CS vendor or a fan of a particular CS leader, boosters can be a critical support mechanism for increasing someone else's reach. If your company's social media marketing arm is doing their own content creation or engaging, your liking and simple sharing, without any comment or introduction, can help add audience and presence to posts that may otherwise go ignored. Like the engager, boosters should be careful not to go like crazy on everything and anything that pops up. Take your boosts seriously, and others will too. As the old cliche says, anything worth doing is worth doing right. If you want to do LinkedIn right as a CS professional or vendor, you must come to this platform with a strategic plan. Even if your ultimate goal is just building the most vibrant network of knowledgeable CS leaders like yourself to share best practices and best products, that will not happen organically. Hopefully, these 3 social media weapons will help you win the war against mediocre profiles and mundane marketing content so that you can take dominion over the sterile processing universe. What do you say? Let's get clicking.